Saying goodbye to an old friend could be one of the toughest things in this life you have to do. You know, the friend that made you smile when you felt like crying, entertained you when no one else could, pumped you up full of confidence like you were the most special person in the world. That's exactly what this old PS3 did for me. Hours of gameplay that came off without a hitch, the Blu-ray movies we shared over a bowl of warm popcorn. I even washed my hands of grease and debris before handling your finely tuned gamepads. But now, electricity no longer flows through your semiconductors. I'm not saying goodbye. No. Modstek is here for you, buddy. You will breathe again. First, I must do some light surgery to gently take my buddy's internals. I know some of you are saying, just fix your friend. But sadly, this is not his first go around with yellow light of death syndrome. In fact, he has been fixed up 2 or 3 times, or should I say patched up. And that's where a little bit of heat, most likely a heat gun and bending the plate slightly, so the heat sinks dig in a little bit more to the CPU and GPU, so they make good contact again like they did before the leadless solder started to fail due to thermals and board flex. With everything out, carefully tucked away for a possible future project, let the modding begin. And if you've been to my YouTube channel, you already know, this isn't a well thought out plan on paper with sketches. No, it's me using only the what if curiosity in my head. Sometimes I can't sleep because I get an idea and I play it over and over and over. The plan is to mod the PS3 case to fit a mini ITX computer build that has equal or even more performance and functionality than it originally did when it hit the scene in 2006. A homemade motherboard tray from an old computer case and cutting out the rear of the PS3 to the shape of our I/O shield seems to be a good place to start this operation once the bottom of the PS3 was cleaned up. Attaching the mobile plate was done with small screws that I grinded off the excess to the bottom of the PS3, now test fitting over and over. Wondering about cooling runs through my head. Utilizing the existing control ports as USB 3.0 ports was a concern of mine, until I dug around in my PC parts bin and pulled out an Anchor USB 3.0 case adapter I didn't even know I had, but wow, I'm glad I found it. I just removed the metal bezel and built up some Legos by the portholes to screw them down. Scrubby Dubby is essential. My friend here was looking grubby, so I drew him a bubble bath to remove the hidden dirt from years past. So not to get the clean PC parts dirty and see just where I am with scratches and determined sanding. I guess I could have just put him in the dishwasher, but it just wouldn't have been that much fun. Mock-up. The mock-up is placing the PC parts inside to see where or if they will fit, so further modifications can be made. Especially if you will be painting your project, you don't want to go back, drill holes, or cut anything once you have your shiny new work of art. For power, I went with the 250 watt Pico power supply I found on Amazon, and in turn it needs a power supply to feed it. And that I already had. It's a 12 volt 10 amp power brick, so I'm cutting a hole to attach it. At this point, the mod is starting to come together. I only hope she doesn't see me drilling things on top of the dining table. That could be catastrophic. After we get the power cable in snug and screwed in, it's time to take it all apart again to start the prep and paint process, which usually includes light sanding with some extra fine sandpaper just to scuff up the shiny parts enough for the paint to stick. Now outdoors, I let the plastic adapt to the temperature and humidity that is out there. Never take outside from air conditioning and try to paint it too quickly. It will never ever dry. After I feel it's time to paint, I grab some good old Walmart bought Krylon white gloss paint, then I begin to spray. And now my old friend is starting to look fantastic. My main concern now is bugs landing on my fresh paint. Don't want that. With the beautiful white coating on the bottom, this idea came to me. Instead of the dome lid being screwed back in, what if it was hinged and we could open up the case a little? I think this can help with the cooling and leave the stock PS3 look when it is not open. Somebody told me this was a silly idea, but I'm glad I pursued it. Even though it was a pain in the butt, it actually worked out rather well. I would like the lid to lift off with an electric motor, but that will just have to wait a little bit. Equipped with my rechargeable drill and 4-inch hole saw, here goes my attempt to install a 120mm RGB fan. Placement was just eyeballed up, and I only have one chance on getting it right. I was thinking a plexiglass window on the other side, but after cutting it out and looking at it for a few days, I decided to go with black mesh dust filter, and I'm glad I did because it not only looks nice, but it keeps excess heat from being trapped in. Ah yes, my friend, you are looking young and strong. This fountain of youth is for you, so I can have you on top of my desk again, creating new memories, new game saves. The next light you pass through will be yours. There it is, grab it. You almost got it. Give me another chance, buddy. Alright, now that we've posted, it's onto the build. So we got an ASRock Fatality B450 Gaming ITX paired with a Ryzen 3 2200G, Corsair Vengeance 16GB of DDR4 RAM, Windows 10 Pro on a 250GB NVMe solid state drive, and a 400GB SSD storage for games. Now I drill a hole for the power button so I have easy bottom right access. Plus I plug all the drives and the drive LEDs up. Ooh, I'm getting so excited about this. Modding this old PS3 is about bringing back some good memories, but in the process I made some new ones. And besides, who else is playing Halo on a PS3?